everybody? I want to welcome you to this week's episode of Terrance and Mike, the Sleeping Giants, presented to you by Double E TV. What's going on, Mike?
Not much, man. What's good?
Going pretty good, man. How was your Thanksgiving?
Pretty good, man. Just got a chance to spend some time with the family, that kind of thing. But yeah, always grateful for the opportunity to, spend time with family. So yeah, it was good. What about you?
Yeah, man. Just came back from Florida. Same thing, had a chance to spend time with my cousin and his wife and my wife. So, we had a good time, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. So we'll start it off with hip hop news. We got the Grammy nominations for Best Rap Album. This year they nominated Drake, CLB, Kanye West, Donda, Nas, King's Disease 2, J. Cole, The Off Season, and Tyler, the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost. What were your thoughts about the list? And if you had to take a guess, who you think is gonna take it home?
I think it's I know the Grammys gets a lot of flack for not necessarily putting hip hop acts or really giving hip hop acts their flowers, but I think they did a good job. And this is 2 years back to back that I think they've really done a solid job with picking the list of people for best hip hop album. And I don't really know who I would say. I mean, I'm kind of partial to all of those albums, honestly. Uh, specifically, mainly Tyler's Call Me If You Get Lost, The Off Season, and King's Disease 2. Now, I like Donda and CLB as well, not as much as those, but I'm kind of partial to all of them. I would not be surprised if Kanye won just because of what he did sonically with that album and, just a lot of the different elements that he was able to add to it, to what isn't traditionally looked at as a hip hop album. I think in most cases, and if I'm not mistaken, when we did our review, one of my critiques was that I felt like it didn't feel like a hip hop album. But regardless, it definitely had its hip hop elements. So I could see Kanye winning. I could see Tyler winning. If I'm a guess, I'll go with Kanye though. What'd you think?
Like we discussed, this is 2 years in a row they did a good job, especially the last year they have Freddy included for Alfredo with the Alchemist and having Royce nominated. That was a good look last year, along with D Smoke. This year, I think the list is pretty good. I think they probably left maybe an album or two off that I thought probably could have been nominated. If I had to guess, I'll probably agree. They maybe Kanye would get it, but I don't think he should win it this year. For me, honestly, I think Nas should go back to back. I mean, but it would shock me though if they gave it to J. Cole. I mean, not that his album is not good, it's really good, but just to trump those albums, it would shock me. But yeah, I mean, I guess either way, it's a win because all those projects are great. Me personally, I would love to see Nas go back to back, but I think the album who I wouldn't give it to, in my personal opinion, would probably be CLB.
I would probably agree with that. Out of all of those, it's probably my least favorite out of all five. And once again, that's not a knock on Drake. I mean, I just feel like it's very similar to most of the projects that he's done in the past. But Drake is a hit maker, so at the same time, I understand why it was nominated. So we'll see what happens. But I think all in all, it was a good list.
Yeah, and same thing. I'm not taking a shot at Drake. I just think that those other albums have, for me personally, just have more of an impact. But Kanye has won 20. Man, I think he's won like the most Grammys of any. I mean, he's won more Grammys than Stevie Wonder. So it's like, to not win is not the end of the world. We've been nominated those many times.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll keep it moving. We got verses, man. We'll recap Shaka Khan versus Stephanie Mills. What were your thoughts?
Uh, well, I mean, all in all, it was great to see both of them out there doing their thing. Obviously, versus on the hip hop side can be very competitive, but when we're dealing with R&B, a lot of times we tend to see it be a lot more civil. This I think was an example of that. Stephanie was incredible. Her voice was incredible. I thought she nailed it and definitely brought a lot more notoriety to her and her music, her catalog. Chaka was definitely not this was definitely not the best Chaka Khan that we've seen, and there's a lot of speculation as to why that possibly was. I'm not going to really get into all of that, but it was nice to see Chaka's daughter on stage with her singing some songs, and it was nice to see Stephanie help Chaka in some situations by singing some background vocals for her, and just kind of the two women encouraging each other and doing their thing. So I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when we originally had make the pick who we thought was gonna win, I mean, obviously I think Shaka probably has the bigger hits, but growing up in my house, I mean, my mom used to play the just just everything was just Stephanie Mills. So, it didn't shock me, the way it turned out. I think I said, I said the same thing about Kane and KRS-One that I thought KRS-One would win, but it wouldn't shock me if Kane did because of his impact and how great of a performer he is. And I thought it was kind of similar to this one. I thought maybe Shaka was probably the original pick for people, but Stephanie is definitely a silent sleeper, man. She is incredible, and yeah, I don't know what's going on with Shaka. I mean, she's a legend. She's been in the game for a long time. Who knows? I don't know if it's a health issue or just kind of burnt out from years of performing or whatever. But it was good to see, Stephanie hold her down, and you could tell they have like a true friendship and a genuine respect for one another. But it's great for Swiss and them to kind of change it up from time to time, and not everything is just rap, but mix in some like they did the Ozzy Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire to kind of give us that whole dynamic, because so many of those groups like the Ozzy Brothers, Ice Cube and Snoop and so many people have sampled them, and through the wire, Kanye sampled Shaka. So all that stuff has a big impact in hip hop music as well. But it's great anytime that we can honor the legend. So all in all, it was a good night.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, man. We coming up real close on Bone versus 3 6 Mafia. So kind of looking at how things have been going, possibly how we just discussed Shaka and Stephanie Mills, or Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One, or how people was talking about the Locks and Dipset. Does that kind of give you a more broad approach of how maybe this night could go? Maybe catalog wise, on paper, it may look like 3 6, but some other things about Bone that we're not taking into equation. What are your thoughts on this upcoming verses?
Well, I think last part you mentioned that Bone just ability to really rap well
Right.
and to be able to put on a great stage performance with their rapping ability could be a factor.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to how it was with the Locks and Dipset. And I could definitely see that being a factor. I think they're definitely, and this is not to take anything away from 3 6 Mafia, but as far as the skill set that Bone Thugs and Harmony have, I think their skill set uh, works good in a versus situation, considering the competitive nature that that type of scenario can bring.
Right.
But just overall, I think the hit and the star power of of 3-6 Mafia could be what separates this thing. I mean, they have so many huge hits with UGK, hits with 8 Ball and MJG, others, Southern Legends, and just songs that are really just staples, especially in Southern hip hop. So I think the different contrast of styles, is really going to be what determines this, whether people want more rapping or whether people want more energy. And I definitely think 3-6 will bring an energy that would be hard to match. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, man, I remember, when Bone came out, oh my goodness. I mean, it was just undeniable. I had mentioned in the last pod, it's kind of like puts me in the middle because I'm from the South, but I spent a lot of time in the Midwest living in Columbus, Ohio, which is not too far from Cleveland. So obviously, with Bone being from the Midwest, yeah, I don't know, man. I think this one's gonna be hard to call. I mean, it's kind of like a boxing fight. You got two great fighters who could go either way. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if either pulled it off. I mean, I don't want to kind of like be on the fence all the time whenever I'm making picks or whatever, but I really think it could go either way. It just depends what your style of taste is. I mean, probably in today's era of music and what's more popularized these days, I would probably lean towards 3-6 because of Bone being kind of more rapidy rap or whatever. But still, I mean, you can't take anything away from Bone's impact, and their music is legendary. So
Absolutely.
I think I'm gonna go with Bone.
I'm gonna go with 3-6, mainly because of what you said about the listeners and the crowd.
Yeah.
I think today's standard for rap is definitely not the same that it was let's say the early 90s or even the early 2000s. And I think that will play a factor in this whole thing. And I think that just like I said, the energy that 3-6 has on their records, and it's just hard to duplicate. And I'm not really sure that Bone will have any kind of answer for that. Now, the question is, will 3-6 have an answer for what Bone does extremely well? But I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm gonna roll with 3-6 on it.
Okay. And what's gonna be interesting too is, like, for example, obviously with Easy being passed away, deceased or whatever, maybe they may have his son do his verse. So it's gonna be interesting, what features, what guest appearances are gonna appear in the particular show. And then also I think location is gonna play a big factor as well. Where's this gonna happen at? We got the South, Midwest. They're going to do it somewhere like LA, where it's kind of more of a neutral ground. So it'd be interesting to see how it turns out. But I think some of that stuff kind of plays a part into it. How Kane and Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One, how they had like a lot of guest appearances and stuff like that. I think that'd be good to see.
For sure.
Yeah. Man, we had recently on Drink Champs, Ghostface Killer and Raekwon, they were talking about possible verses, and they mentioned the Locks. So what were your thoughts about that?
I think that would be amazing. At this point, I don't really know if the Locks has the motivation to come back outside for another verses, especially considering that it hasn't been that long that they did their verses. And Jadakiss really has been riding, and not just him, Styles and Sheik as well, have really been riding the success of that versus for basically the whole year, and I think they've really capitalized on that moment and solidified their names even more to some fans. But I think Ghost and Ray versus the Locks would be incredible, honestly. I'd love to see it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be the third time for Jadakiss. And that's not, it's not a knock on Jada. I love Jada. Jada is incredible, but I mean, it's too many other people that need to be honored. for us to kind of go down that hole where we're just kind of getting the same people over and over. I think if not, even though stylistically is a little different, but if not, why not Method Man and Redman?
That it's funny that you said that. I was actually just thinking that Ghost and Ray versus Red and Meth will be fire.
Yeah, yeah, it would be incredible, man.
I would personally enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, man. And also, man, we got Styles P and Havoc. They announced a joint album called Wreckage. What were your thoughts about that?
Well, Styles P, legendary member of the Lox, as we were just mentioning. Havoc, legendary member and producer for Mobb Deep. Um, two great MCs, two very talented guys, legends in the game.
Yeah.
Together for a joint album, I think it should be incredible. Honestly, Havoc beats are very dope. He's been dope for a while with
Yeah.
the production. Styles is a great rapper, and Havoc's got bars too. Don't sleep on Havoc's rapping ability.
Right.
So I definitely think, and I hope I hope it's not just Havoc production and Styles P rapping. I'll be fine with that, but I would like to hear Havoc rap some too. So yeah, I think it's gonna be dope.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, man. You know, these days, obviously, and well deserved, all the love that we show to Hit Boy, and Hit Boy is doing this thing, and you got so many other great producers in the game. But Havoc is definitely someone that deserves his flowers, because he's been putting it down for a long time, and he's made anthems. I mean, just
Right.
incredible, bangers over the years. And like you said, not just from a producing standpoint, but he got bars as well. So yeah, I think this has the potential to be a classic.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree 100%.
Yeah, and we'll close out our hip hop news with Young Dolph, man. Just everything that's going on with it, and the blowback. What were your thoughts about his passing, and all the things surrounding it?
Well, yeah, I'm sure everyone has heard by now about the situation. He was killed in his hometown of Memphis, and of course, that's a terrible situation. I know what he meant to the city of Memphis. I'm not extremely familiar with his music, but I am aware of him and have been aware of him for quite some time. So just the blow that is to the city of Memphis, I think it's just, it's huge. And, of course, things like this happen, in hip hop, unfortunately. We never want to see things like this happen, but it's a part of the game, unfortunately. And I just uh for us at the Sleeping Giants podcast, we extend our thoughts and prayers to his wife, his children, and the rest of his family as they're grieving. Obviously, like I said, it's a terrible situation. You never want to see anything like that happen. And yeah, just thoughts out to him, to his people.
Yeah, I want to say something, man. It's real interesting. Anytime we have someone that passes away, and obviously from the um media outlets, you get all the condolences and rest in peace and all this type of stuff. And yeah, I know Ti had caught some flack recently, talking about ego played a part in some of this. But at the same token, it's like, but when does the media take any type of responsibility, as far as playing, having like some balance on the radio? I mean, it's like, for example, I love Megan. Megan is an incredible artist, but at the same token, we have other great female MCs like Lil Sims. You've never heard a Lil Sims song on the radio recently or whatever. So it's like, I mean, and that's not a knock on Megan. I mean, she's incredible and she deserves her flowers and deserves what she has worked hard for. But, instead of playing Megan 50 times a day, how about play her 40 and give Lil Sims 10 spins? It's like, where's the responsibility from the program, like directors, to kind of balance the message, and give some of this, because we review a lot of great music every week from people like D Smoke and Mick Jenkins and all these different, incredible lyricists or whatever. No, those guys deserve some shine or whatever. And I'm not saying, like you, I'm not really familiar with all of Dolph's music, really any of it. But I'm not saying that he was putting out negative stuff or whatever, but I'm just saying, but there's a lot of stuff that when you turn on the radios about twerking or I kill a nigga and all this kind of stuff. But, you got dope lyricists and dope MCs is doing some, great stuff and they don't get like any shine whatsoever. So to me, the media's got to kind of step it up and the program directors got to do a better job, man. They got to put their foot down and let the, shareholders or the powers that be kind of know we got to have more balance.
I mean, I agree, but all of these things about design, and I mean, you worked in the television business for a while. I obviously worked in the television business, and a lot of this stuff that airs, whether it's radio, TV, it's programming, and it's pre-programmed before the day before the actual program airs. All of this stuff, especially in radio, I think if I'm not mistaken, your whole playlist for your set, depending on how long it is, has to be pre-approved before you can even play it. So that just goes to show the level of impact that the higher ups have on what's actually played and what actually gets listened to. So, but at the same time, we're in a stage where, Spotify and SoundCloud and YouTube and all of these other avenues spawn stars as well. So, the plus is that you don't necessarily have to go the traditional route to get known nowadays. But I definitely agree with your sentiment, and I think that there should be more pressure put on these radio stations and these even the stations that the television stations that play music videos. Still, there should be more pressure on them to have some diversity within their playlist.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, rest in peace to young Dolph, man, and our thoughts and prayers, definitely with his family and his children.
Absolutely, rest in peace.
Yep. We'll transition, man, to album reviews. Great list this week. I enjoyed each project. We started off with Joel Ortiz, Autograph. What were your thoughts?
I really enjoyed this project. Strong project, top to bottom. Somewhere in the middle, I thought he had a couple of tracks back to back that kind of took a little bit of the momentum overall out of this project. Because 5-6 songs in, I'm thinking this could possibly end up in my top 15, top 20 list. And there were a couple songs, not that I thought that they were bad songs, but maybe just the placing of the songs, I think kind of took a little bit away from the overall feel of the album. But I understand his point in putting those songs on the album as well. Had features with Crooked Eye, Saw How the Prince, and a few others that I'm not very familiar with. My highlights would be In My Feelings, Uncle Chris Carr, Housing Authority. I think that was the one with Crooked Eye. Day, Masked Up, Holy Ghost. I think that was the one with Sci-Hi. Love is Love with Sheik Luch, which we spoke on the previous pod, was fire. And I like OG a lot.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, all in all, I thought it was a dope project. Despite, one or two songs that I felt like maybe, just weren't, the strongest on the project, but it was still good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it too. I thought it was kind of interesting that throughout most of it, he really didn't have like many like hooks of him like doing the hooks. It was kind of like I don't know, like it's kind of hard to explain, but kind of like the music was like the hook or whatever on quite a few songs. But yeah, I mean, Joel, from a bar standpoint, he did an incredible job. So yeah, I mean, great lyricist, he's barred up always. The highlights for me would be In My Feelings, Housing Authority featuring Crooked Eye. And, Crooked Eye and Joel did an EP called Hard earlier in this year, or maybe it was like late last year. It's an incredible project. And normally, if you get on the song with Crooked Eye, it's very hard to top him anytime that he does a verse. But I'm gonna give that one to Joel. I thought Joel he got busy. I mean, that may have been like his best verse on the album. He went crazy on that one. One Day was a highlight for me. Lifeline and Going Through It. But my favorite song on the album was Therapeutic. I thought that was incredible. So yeah, overall, man, it was a great project, and I'm sure he'll be working on some visuals for the project as well.
For sure.
All right, man. Next up, we got 2 Chainz with Bride of Tony EP. I'll start this one off. It's kind of like a lot of artists are doing this now where they're kind of like chop up songs or whatever and make like an EP out of it. So that's kind of like what this was. But highlights for me would be Riverdale Road, Good Drink. It was an incredible record with him, Gucci Mane, and Quavo. But my favorite song on this project, man, and I think this came off the previous album that he dropped this year, is Vampire. That's incredible, man. I mean, that's like 2 Chainz in his bag. I like the stuff he was talking about on it. And 2 Chainz has been very active this year, doing a lot of collaborations with most of the guys in Griselda, and he's just one of those guys, man, that he just enjoys rapping. I mean, even though he's got opportunities for like other business ventures and he does that, but he's still excited about rapping. And I definitely got that type of vibration listening to this project.
Yeah, for sure. For me, like you said, it's an EP, 6 songs, features with Wayne, Drake. I think Wayne and Drake were on the same song. I think
Right.
that's I Do It. Gucci and Quavo, as you said, on Good Drink. Ty Dolla $ign, if I'm not mistaken, on Girl's Best Friend.
Right.
Yeah. And those are pretty much my highlights. It's a vibe. I Do It, featuring Wayne and Drake. Vampire, as you said, was a great track. Good Drink with Gucci and Quavo, and Girl's Best Friend with Ty Dolla $ign. So I liked it. It was, an EP, so not very long, but I liked it.
Yeah. All right, man. Next up, we got The Baby, back on my Baby Jesus ish again EP. Yeah, man. I mean, again, it's an EP. It's short, but he still made like an impact. Even though it was short, it was interesting. I was listening to this on my way to Florida, and my wife was listening to it, and she credited his vocals. Like, I want to definitely give a shout out to whoever mixes his music, man, because it's like his vocals are just incredible. Just the way it just kind of really stands out over the track, and the way he just gets busy. Highlights for me would be Draws, Roof, and Look Like Something.
Yeah, not too much to add. Had a feature with Kodak on here, a feature with 21 Savage.
Right.
For me, highlights are Sticked Up, Draws, and Look Like Something. And I think Look Like Something was the track with 21 Savage, right?
Let me make sure.
I think that was the last track. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Or maybe Up was the last track, and that was the one with 21 Savage.
Right. Yeah, it looked like something. It's in by himself. Sticked Up is with 21 Savage.
Sticked Up, yeah. Sticked Up, I think, was probably the best song on the project, in my opinion. I thought the beat was great. I thought they both did a great job with the rapping, and yeah, just a solid, like you said, an EP, even shorter than 2 Chainz EP. A lot of these songs were no longer than I think there may have been 1 3-minute song on the whole project, if that.
Right.
So very long, just a short EP, but it was good though. Like you said, still make an impact. So
right. Yeah, man. And bro, like when you listen to the Baby project, man, those 808s be knocking hot, heavy, you know, like real heavy.
Big
So
fact.
yeah, shout out to him, man. Next up, man, we got Megan Thee Stallion. It's almost like she kind of, to me, kind of played off the Montel Jordan, something for the honeys, but this one is something for the hotties. So what were your thoughts about this project?
Uh, Now this is my first full length Megan project. I've heard several songs from her before, possibly even a mixtape in the past, or at least some songs from a mixtape. But this is the first project that I've actually sat and listened to all the way through. A lot of the songs were freestyle, so that was cool in the sense that it just gives you, really just showcases her rapping and her rapping ability without necessarily being a super serious song. So I appreciated that. That was cool. Highlights for me: Megan Monday freestyle, Out of Town freestyle. Megan's piano was dope. All of it. Kitty Cat with the Me So Horny sample was crazy.
Fire. Yeah, fire.
Like crazy. Yeah, so that's dope, definitely dope. Tina Snow interlude, Let Me See It. Freakend, Bless the Booth, and Bagos, I thought was kind of interesting as well. Like something, it was slightly different from what I expected from her.
Yeah.
So that was man, Megan's got some hilarious bars too. I love that, she especially to be as big as she is, like that she shows her personality through her music. Like she raps about anime, pop, Pokemon, and just some of the bars. Like I think one of the lines on one of the songs was like, she said the favorite thing about the dude was his neck, and she laughing, man. Like
Yeah.
I can't help but laugh at that. That's hilarious. And I think you had said recently that you laugh at a lot of Wayne's bars. I know
Right.
Wayne getting me with some of these bars too. He catch me off guard, and I can't do nothing but laugh. I need the Wayne and Megan track. I think that'd be mad interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, it's crazy, man. I think I was doing pull-ups one day, and Wayne had said something so crazy, man. I almost fell off the bar, man. I said, this dude tripping, man.
I believe it.
Yeah, but Megan's kind of similar. Yeah, you're right. That is a good comparison. I mean, it's a lot of bars and a lot of stuff. I always joke about Wayne and Megan. It's like, hey, whoever they land down with, I hope they can live up to expectation, because they talk a lot. They talk real spicy about what they can do in the bedroom or whatever. But yeah, it's a good project. I think this is more like a album she made for her fans, not necessarily like a quote unquote studio album. But the highlights for me would be Megan Monday freestyle. I thought that was fire. Southside Forever freestyle, Warning, Kitty Cat, Opposite Day, and I think my favorite song on this album was Bagos. She definitely went in on that one, and overall, man, she definitely can spit. Rapping is not the problem. I just wonder, content. I just want to eventually kind of hear some things beyond just sex or whatever. But she's an incredible artist for sure.
Definitely, yeah. She definitely shows she can rap, and her production is usually top notch. So that, I think that makes for a very good showing on whatever project she drops.
Yeah. Also, I give her a lot of love for what she did too. She definitely made sure that she put on for Houston. She definitely had a lot of love for Houston shown, and talked about Houston a lot on the project.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I thought it was dope that some of the OGs, came through for some of those interludes to co-sign her. That was dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, Bond, and she had
One for the
Juicy.
One, some of everybody, some of everybody.
Yeah, man. Last but not least, we got Snoop presents Algorithm. What were your thoughts about this? This is a compilation album.
25 songs. This was a pretty long project. But I enjoyed it overall. Now Snoop wasn't on all of these songs, so I don't want to give anybody the impression that he was. Like you said, it was a compilation album, so some of the songs he is on, some of them he's not on.
Wow.
There's tons of features on this thing, man. Dave East, Usher, Eric Bellinger, Smoke, not Smoke, D Smoke. I'm sorry, I almost said Smoke Dizza. D Smoke, Wiz Khalifa, Redman and Method Man, Blast, YK Osiris, Fab, some of everybody on this.
Yeah.
Overall, I liked it though. I thought it was very well put together. Production was fire. For me, highlights are All Right, New Oldie, Make Some Money, Applying Pressure, Go to War, GYU for Gas You Up, Big Subwoofer, obviously we talked about that one on the podcast. Inspiration, I thought was a really dope track.
Yeah.
Murder Music, obviously we talked about that one on a previous pod as well. Diamond Life, I think that was the one with Mary J. Blige was fire. And Steady, and that was the one with D Smoke and Wiz Khalifa. So I enjoyed the majority of this project.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's an incredible project. It's great to see, Snoop kick off, what he wants to do with his run with Def Jam. Shooting a lot of visuals for it, for sure. I saw him like a little snippet of what they're shooting with the Make Some Money music video, and then the Go to War with Blast. That music video is out. It's a real dope video. Highlights for me: No Bama Weed, New Oldie, Make Some Money, incredible. Fabulous and Dave East did their thing on there, and then Snoop kind of closed it out. Anxiety, I like that record a lot. Go to War might be my favorite record on here, but it's incredible song. Murder Music, Qualified, I like Qualified a lot. And then obviously, as you said, Steady with D Smoke and Wiz. And there's one song on there too, Everybody Dies. I think that's Snoop. I think that's Snoop's daughter singing it.
Wow.
Yeah, Chaka. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's incredible project. I'm definitely excited for what Snoop's gonna do at Def Jam, and obviously we talked in the last pod about him signing Benny the Butcher as well.
Man, real quick, you had mentioned that Go to War track with Blast.
Yeah.
Man, Blast is incredible. Every time I hear this dude, like, it's fire.
Yeah.
I can't think of a bar that I've heard from this dude in a song that wasn't good. Like, he's really good. So y'all be out on the lookout for Blast if you haven't already heard of him. Like, he's gonna be big soon. I can see it.
Yeah, for sure. He was also, that's him on Brunch on Sundays on the King's Disease. Yeah. Yeah. Blast doing his thing, man.
Thanks.
All right, man. We got new music of the week. So we had a good list this week. We'll start off. We got Method Man. Man, Method Man got in his bag on that new Old School. I mean, it's a short song, but I just kind of like how Method just kind of just him as an MC is just incredible. I mean, his breath control, his punchlines, his structure, and Method is just probably I don't know, man. I mean, when everybody has these lists that they talk about and stuff like that, man, but Method Man should definitely be somewhere in people's lists, I think.
Absolutely. I like the track. The production was different, it was dope. It wasn't typically the type of beat that I would expect to hear Method Man on, but it was still dope. Lyrically, he definitely did his thing, and fire track.
Yeah, for sure, man. Next up, man, we got Kanye West. He finally releases the Donda Deluxe. I'm gonna get a chance to listen to it again because of he kind of like restructured the song list or whatever. So the original songs are kind of like resequenced or whatever. But I do know that him and he kind of like retouched up his verse he did with the Andre track. But man, Andre, oh my goodness, man, that's like That may be like the best verse on that album, man. I mean, Andre really got loose and just did his thing. But yeah, man, I look forward to finishing up this Donda Deluxe and kind of listen to the restructure of it. So what were your thoughts about him finally putting that out?
Yeah, I mean, when I looked at the track list, I didn't really see, like you said, it was restructured
Mhm.
in some ways, but I didn't really see very much that was added on. But I did listen to the Life of the Party track. That's the Andre track again. And as you mentioned, his verse was different from the verse that we heard on the Leak track. So that was cool to see a different verse on that. I haven't finished the entire project, the deluxe yet, but I'll definitely get to it in the next couple of days, and maybe we'll talk more about that on the next pod.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Next up, we got Freddy Gibbs, Black Illuminati featuring Jadakiss. Bro, the video is fire, first of all. And Freddie went crazy, man. And then, at the end, Jadakiss brought it home as he always does. But yeah, it's incredible project. I mean, incredible song, and the visual is incredible as well.
I agree. Dope production, dope verses from Freddie and Jada. They both snap. Like you said, the visuals fire, and just all in all, a fire track. I have nothing to say about this track but fire.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. Next up, we got Moray featuring Benny the Butcher. What were your thoughts on this one?
I'm gonna say it once again, fire. Moray snapped on this,
Yeah, he
man.
did.
Like, that might be probably the best verse. And this is just my personal opinion. I think that might be the best verse I've heard from Moray to this day. Like he snapped.
Yeah.
And of course, Benny, we know Benny, what Benny does.
Mm.
And he just did it again. He did, incredible rapping. We know Benny, we know Griselda, we know what they do. So it was an interesting collab. I probably wouldn't have seen those two collabing just based on the contrasting styles and what they tend to rap about.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Moray, he snapped. I mean, it was crazy. And Benny snapped too. I mean, I liked it also for Benny because it's kind of a different type of beat for him. But I think you're gonna start seeing a lot more of that from Benny, especially with the signing on Def Jam. You're gonna have a lot more producers that he's gonna start working with. I think outside of the normal, Derringer and Alchemist.
And you know what's cool is we started to see more, all of them kind of do this. Conway, we talked about that on La Maquina, how he rapped on some beats that we typically wouldn't see him on, and even the West Side is branching out and doing some different things with some of the production that he's rapping on. So yeah, I think it's cool to see them all kind of, break out of the quote unquote shell that we know them for, when it comes to their rap style. So I thought
Yeah.
that was dope.
Yeah. All right, man. Next up, we got Y3. Get your bands up. What were your thoughts on this one?
I mean, pretty self-explanatory track. Get your bands up. Pretty much tells you what the song is about and the mind state that Y3 was in when he wrote it. I really don't have a lot to say about this one. I mean, it's a typical kind of trap type track, but it can definitely be deemed as motivational or something that can inspire you depending on how you receive it. But I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a cool track. I don't have too much to add to it as well, but yeah, it was definitely a track. You all should definitely check it out. And next up, man, we got Tory Lanez. This was a little different. Was it Lady In The Meek or whatever?
Uh, I'm gonna go Namek.
Namek. Okay, Lady Namek. Okay, okay. You're probably right. Yeah, I saw the video too. It's a little it's different. It's kind of got like this little 80s thing to it. And then that one scene in the video where they was kind of doing the whole Michael Jackson thing and a little knife fight or whatever. He was like in high school and had a Jerry curl, but yeah, I mean it was cool. It was a different track. Tory is someone whether you like him or don't like him, but you have to give him credit that he does take chances as an artist and he doesn't kind of get stuck in doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was cool. Like you said, 80s vibe. Kind of puts you in the whole prom king, prom queen type of thought process when you're watching the video. They got like the food pictures and all of that kind of stuff. Like you said, even some elements that kind of parody in some ways some of Michael Jackson's older stuff. So yeah, it was cool. And just the 80s vibe and really doing something that's different from what a lot of people are doing right now. I thought that was cool. So yeah, shout out to Tory Lanez.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Mike. I know you're gonna salivate over this one. Remedy with Method Man, Ghostface, Master Killer, and everybody that's on there, man. Tell us about it.
Fire, man. Remedy meets Wu-Tang, track called Crazy 8. Like I said, fire track, kind of puts you in the Wu-Tang vibe. Bars for days, really just kind of an old school hip hop head type of track. And yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, it's just, bro, anytime you can get, it's almost like a movie with what's the new movie that's out right now with that Jay-Z did the verse for the soundtrack. He's on the song with
Yeah,
Conway and Jadakiss.
I'm not sure the name of the movie. I can't think of it off the top
Yeah,
of
I
my
can't
head.
think of it either. But anytime you get them many great actors on one movie, something magical is gonna happen. You got Regina King, Idris Elba. I mean, anytime you can get them type of people on a project, or even like Django, you got Jamie Foxx, Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel Jackson. I mean, come on. I mean, so anytime you get Ghostface and Method Man, these type of people doing something, man, and now these guys, even with them being older, they're more seasoned and the pen, they've had more life experiences or whatever, and probably the pressure that they once had of just finances is not a problem no more. They got a lot to talk about, so just bars and music is just incredible, man. So definitely check that project out. It's definitely worth definitely something to get you excited and just get you probably even get you a little mad too, because you just want more of this type of music, and you know again, I love trap, and I'm not taking nothing away from trap music or whatever, but I definitely love just kind of having like a bi-coastal approach with music. I mean, with me growing up in the South, I was always a little weird because I was the only one listening to Buckshot Shorty and Bush Babies and Evil D and stuff like that, while everybody else was listening to either No Limit or 8 Ball or MJG and Outkast. And I loved all that stuff, but I always loved the East Coast music as well. And then my dad got me into the, Easy E and Public Enemy or whatever. So I just like diversity when it comes to music, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just think it's interesting. A couple pods we mentioned Raekwon with the whole ice cream.
Yeah.
You mentioned RZA with the project that he has with LeBron James.
Right.
We talked about Inspector Deck with
Doom.
what project? Ghost and Ray just did Drink Champs. Method Man has dropped 2 singles, and obviously he's on Power Book of Ghost as well.
Yeah.
So it's like all finding ways to continue to stay relevant, and I think that's so dope.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And then also, shout out to RZA. He's like directing movies and stuff,
Right.
and acting as well. So yeah, man, RZA is definitely incredible, man. All right, next up, man, we got RJ Payne, Bloodsport. Tell us about it.
RJ went and enlisted of some battle rap friends for this one. The likes of DNA, Tay Rock, Marv One, Reed Dollars, and Averb. 8-minute track, bars on top of bars on top of bars. DNA Spaz, probably one of the best verses, probably the best verse on the track, honestly, and probably one of the best verses I've heard DNA on a track ever, in my opinion. Tay Rock's verse was fire as well. Marv One Spaz as well. Reed and Averb were good too. But just for me personally, I like DNA, RJ, Tay Rock, and Mars versus slightly better,
Yeah.
But all I thought it was a dope track.
Yeah, man. Next pod, bro, we're going to come kind of retouch up on DNA versus Los. Kind of talk about that. But yeah, I mean, DNA is someone I've always liked or whatever. RJ Payne, man, I mean, he's just he's one of those guys, man. He's gonna take risk, but also I like that he loves like collaborating. I think he likes that energy. He's done a couple tracks like this where he's got like heavy features. I think we just covered one, right? The one with like Royce and all that recently.
Yeah,
So
who's on that? Corey Guns, Papoose. Maybe somebody else I might be forgetting, but I know those.
Yeah. I think RJ kind of likes these type of songs that he can kind of be competitive on. But yeah, I mean, it's also incredible to see the battle rappers outside, and I know some guys have kind of taken I guess people kind of look at some of them that maybe they can't get on tracks or whatever. They sound more suited for the stage or whatever. But yeah, it's great that anytime guys get an opportunity that they can get on a track and and show their skills with someone as incredible as RJ Payne is like a good thing.
Absolutely. And like you said, I think RJ relishes in these type moments, just like you said, the competitive aspect and just really being able to do his thing on a high level with other really skillful and highly talented MCs as well. So yeah, I think we'll see more of this from RJ in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. And last but not least, man, we got, was it Oswald Benjamin and Marlon Craft, Jesus Shuttlesworth?
Yes, Oswald Benjamin, Marlon Craft, and the Poetic, Jesus Shuttlesworth. One of my favorite actually two of my favorite rappers, Marlon and Oswald. I think they're both incredible. I think they're both underrated, and it was dope to see them do something together. The track, obviously in reference to the movie He Got Game, which Denzel Washington, Ray Allen, and yeah, just man, incredible rapping. Oswald is so gifted as a rapper, in my opinion. Marlon is gifted as well, and I thought the hook was really dope. So yeah, just a great track.
Yeah, man. I got to get into some more Oswald and check him out more. And it's interesting, the title of the song, because obviously with Marlon doing the home court advantage and having songs like Tom Thibodeau and stuff like that he must be like a big basketball fan, and he likes to kind of make songs that kind of correlates to the NBA or whatever. But yeah, man, I mean, Marlon is dope. And I know we had talked about trying to like review one more project from him, because he's dropped 3 this year and we've already covered 2 on the pod. But yeah, it's an incredible joint, and shout out to those fellas.
Right.
All right, man, we got some news, man, and this is like some good news we got going on this week, as far as what the rappers are doing, or just cultural in general, with R&B acts as well, kind of sprinkled in there, doing a lot for the community. And I think it's, good that we can highlight these types of things, because obviously anytime there's controversy or someone said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing, that's going to always make news or whatever. But when people do good, it's not always highlighted. So we want to, give some, show some love to what everyone did this week. And we started off with the baby in Charlotte, feeding over 100 families, giving out turkeys.
I mean, the baby has been through a lot recently, with the results of or the reaction to what was said at the Rolling Loud concert. But
Yeah.
as recently, it seems like he has you know seems to get back in some of the public good graces at least. We spoke a couple weeks ago about 50 bringing them out during the set at Rolling Loud,
Mhm.
and also about the Rolling Loud tour that he received uh, after his talk with the CEO of that group. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a group associated with the LGBT community.
Mhm.
So um, with him, helping to feed these families and giving away what was it that you said he gave away?
Turkeys.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
with these turkeys and Charlotte, I think that's a great thing. Obviously, for the city, and we said it on previous pods. When you are a person who has a lot and has been blessed with the
Mhm.
ability to have a lot, it's always good to see those type of people give back to their community. So it's good to see the baby taking his platform and taking the success that he has and spreading like love and joy and sharing with his community. So shout out to the baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. And that transitions us into Ti doing the same thing up in the ATL. Donates over 1,000 turkeys at the 16th annual Thanksgiving giveaway in the ATL. You know, I saw the pictures, and definitely looks like they did a lot. Taking pictures and showing some love or whatever. So it's good to see Ti doing the same thing. I just thought it was dope. As far as you got the baby doing that in Charlotte, and then Ti where he is, and it's kind of like everyone in their own communities, doing something positive.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Tip and Tiny, uh, both staples in Atlanta. Both you know, icons and legends for whether it be television or the things
Mhm.
that they've done in the music world. So once again, just great to see people who have been blessed, with so much, taking the opportunity to give back to those who are less fortunate. And so shout out to Tip, Tiny, the fam. That's real dope.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Also, we got Kodak Black. He gives 5,000 turkeys, 5K and turkeys to the families in Florida while he was in rehab. So yeah, I mean, even with him, dealing with whatever personal issues he has going on, it's great that him and his team, still wanted to, make sure that they can do some good in the, community for the holiday season.
Hey, and Kodak is not a person. I think that gets a lot of shine for these types of things.
Hmm.
Most of the time when Kodak, when we hear his name in the media, it's either about something that he did or maybe his music. Sometimes it's legal things, but I'm
Right.
glad to see Kodak, doing like these other people, like the baby, like Ti, and taking his platform and doing something good with it. So shout out to Kodak. That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, look at that, man. We got Charlotte, Atlanta, and Florida. I mean, so again, and then probably wouldn't even have the information on it, but I'm sure, whether it be guys in the West Coast or New York or different states or whatever, probably did some stuff in Detroit. So it's just great to see everyone wherever they are, doing some, good for people to, assist them, especially in these difficult times we got going on with, COVID still, and some people still kind of being kind of like low on resources this year. So it's good to see everybody, spreading love.
For sure.
All right, last but not least, we got Candy. We got Candy Burris, was it Partisan Fontaine, and Jasa
And Jada Cheese.
Jada Cheese. Okay. All right, hosting a turkey giveaway in Atlanta. Tell us about that one.
Absolutely. Candy has been doing things like this for years. And just her, Partisan Fontaine, Jada Cheese getting together to do something like this in Atlanta is, just another example of people who've been blessed and people who have a platform, taking the opportunity to give back to their community and surrounding areas. So, shout out to Candy, Partisan Fontaine, Jada Cheese. And I even read recently that Quavo was also giving away turkeys in Georgia. So,
Okay.
yeah, and even one of my buddies out in the Austin area, I won't say his name for respect and privacy because I know he didn't do it for that.
Mm-hmm.
But Austin is an area. I'm not sure if you've ever been to Austin.
No.
Austin is a very nice city, but there's a very significant homeless rate in Austin, and I know he was talking about getting some people together and taking some plates to the homeless people out in the Austin area, and I just thought that was dope. So
yeah,
whether big or small, whether it's someone who has a major platform or someone who doesn't have very much of a platform at all, when people take and give out of the kindness of their hearts, I think it should be praised and it should be something that is publicized, not necessarily to deify anyone or put anyone on a pedestal, but to encourage other people and show like it's cool to help people out. It's cool to do good in your community and to give to people, like
right.
And I think maybe if other people, especially some of the younger crowd, saw people doing stuff like that, maybe they would think it was more cool too. So.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Yeah, it makes me think about a couple friends of mine. They did like some like coat drives or whatever. So the turkeys are great, but also with the temperatures dropping and stuff like that, maybe people got some coats or boots and things of that nature to kind of help out, blankets and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's good, man, to see everyone trying to play their part to help out and yeah, man. So overall, it was a great week to see all that.
Right.
All right, man. This week we got artist spotlight. We got John Connor. John Connor is definitely someone who's been getting busy for a long time. Being a listener of Shade 45, I've heard him for years on Shade 45, and I was very excited when the Straight Outta Compton movie came out and he had that shine from Dr. Dre on it. So what are your thoughts about John Connor, man?
John Connor, very, very dope MC. Been a fan for over 10 years now. Yeah, just a very, very dope MC. But let me just go ahead and get into it. John began songwriting at the age of 10, and obviously his name, John Connor, is a reference to the Terminator movie, for those who may not know. But he began songwriting at the age of 10. By middle school, he was selling his own mixtapes out of his backpack in his mom's car or the trunk of his mom's car. At 14, with his mom's help and through some other things that he had going on as far as like I said, odd jobs and selling his mixtapes and stuff like that, he was able to found his own independent record label called All Varsity Music. And by 16, he had financed the in-house studio through odd jobs, mixtape sales, and different things like that. So to get to his music catalog, in January 2005, he released his first mixtape called The Calling Part 1, the prequel. He followed that up in 2006 with Everybody Hates Connor. His third mixtape, The Calling Part 2, The Second Coming, was in 2008. September 29th, 2010, he released his fourth mixtape, which is inspired by the TV show Entourage. It's called John Connor as Benny Chase, Season 1. And this was right around the time that I first started hearing about John Connor. So for me, I was just, drawn to his rapping ability and his style, his subject matter. Just he was, not only just a very skillful and dope rapper, but thought provoking. A lot of his lyrics were very mature and just dope. All in
Yeah.
all, so yeah, like I said, John Connor as Benny Chase Season 1 had that mixtape had a song called The Message on it that was really dope. There was a remix that featured Saigon and Consequence. It was mostly produced by Connor himself and his music producer Optic. And yeah, that was when I first really started hearing of John Connor. July 2011, he released Salvation, which was mainly produced by Rob Reef. Tulo, if I said your name wrong, please forgive me. But he did a lot of production for 50 Cent and Bad Meets Evil in the past. The album was met with positive reviews. William E. Ketchum of the third of Hip Hop DX stated that Salvation undeniably showcases a sincerity of hunger. I'm sorry, one second. Yes. So, I'm sorry. William E. Ketchum, the third of Hip Hop DX stated Salvation undeniably showcases a sincerity and hunger that are tough to find in much of hip hop today. If John Connor continues to build on the skills that he already has, living up to his fictional namesake shouldn't be so far off, which was thought was a great quote for his feelings of that album. In December 2012 of 2011, he released his fifth mixtape, John Connor as Vinny Chase, Season 2. And this one featured GLC and Freeway. The mixtape garnered 130,000 downloads on Bandcamp in 3 months. And for unsigned independent artist, I think that's huge in itself. And later that year, 2011, he was in talks with signing with Def Jam as well, but just didn't happen that year. So February 14, 2012, he released the Blue Album, which is a mixtape of him rapping over Jay-Z instrumentals. And he did this a couple times. He had a series called the Best of the World series. Excuse me. And the Blue Album was, I think, the first installation of that series. Had instrumentals from the Blueprint, Blueprint 2, Gift and the Curse, and the Blueprint 3. He told MTV he wrote the mixtape in 4 days. Adam Fisher of Double XL gave the mixtape a positive review, said lyrically Connor is a clever artist that is able to weave words together and astonish without simply relying on punchlines. Connor's lyrics, energy, and microphone presence make every song sound fresh, which is super dope to me. April 13, 2020, and as you see, a lot of these dates are really close together, so he dropped a lot of music, especially coming up time.
Yeah.
But April 13, 2012, Connor released another installment of the Best of the World series, the People's Rapper LP. And this one featured him rapping over Eminem instrumentals. It was executive produced and hosted by Don Cannon. Was met with positive reviews. Andres Vasquez of Hip Hop DX deemed it EP worthy. Following the release of the LP, he would tour later that year with Big Crit and a Midwest United States tour. Later the year, July 26, 2012, Connor released his 8th mixtape, While You Were Sleeping. Guest appearances from Bun B, Mr. Fab, GLC, Kid Ink, and Killer Leon. And now this one was all original instrumentals, and it was produced by Connor and his production team, the world's greatest music, Optics and Bricks. I'm sorry. Connor called While You Were Sleeping his most introspective work to date. Edwin Ortiz of Hip Hop DX gave it a positive review. And late in 2012, early 2013, Connor toured with Exhibit, and that led to him meeting up with Dr. Dre. So, July of 2013, Connor released Unconscious State under his label, All Varsity Music. The album featured guest appearances from Danny Brown, Chris Webby, Freddie Gibbs, Royce the 5'9", Talib Kweli, and Smoke Dizzle. Production was handled mostly by Connor himself, Mr. Porter, who you know very well, Brick and Optics. And Mr. Porter, for those who don't know, go ahead and tell them who Mr. Porter.
Mr. Porter, the Nine. He's grew up with Eminem, but he's a great producer and a member of D12, and been a hype man for Marshall since Proof passed.
For sure. Singles on the album were Michigan Shit, featuring Royce, and Rise Up, featuring Talib Kweli. The album peaked at 35 on the Billboard top hip hop and R&B chart, and number 7 on the Billboard Heat Seekers album chart. And in July 2013, Connor revealed that he'd been in the studio with Dr. Dre. Dre ended up signing Connor in 2013 to Aftermath Entertainment, which was distributed by Interscope. At the BET Cypher in 2013, on September 29th, Connor revealed that he signed with Aftermath and Dr. Dre. And his freestyle at the 2013 Hip Hop Awards was well praised and deemed one of the best of the night by XXL. In March 18th of 2014, Connor released another Best of the World series, and this was a surprise mixtape entitled "The Late Registration of a College Dropout Who Had a Dark Twisted Fantasy of 808s and Heartbreak." And I'm pretty sure you can guess who this Best of the World series was for, and of course that will be Kanye West. It was met with positive reviews. Jordan LeBeau of XXL gave it a positive review, said Connor's mastery of his voice, storytelling, point of view, and sense of humor was great. He also released another mixtape, another Best of the World series that year, April 14th of 2014, and that was Best in the World, a tribute to the Notorious B.I.G. Volume 1. Obviously, he chose to rap on Biggie instrumentals on that one, so that was dope as well. He was chosen for the 2014 XXL freshman cover, and in January of 2016, Connor released a song called Freshwater for Flint, highlighting the Flint water crisis, and it was featuring Keke Palmer on the hook. And lastly, in May of 2019, Connor revealed that he was no longer signed to Aftermath Interscope, and he would be releasing new music independently soon. And he went on a little hiatus after that, and we didn't get a lot of full-length projects, some singles here and there, some tracks, but didn't get a whole lot of full-length projects from him. He did drop an album last year called SOS that was really good. Didn't really get, I think, the attention that it should have gotten, but it was definitely dope. Mm-hmm. And actually, recently he just dropped another Best of the World series mixtape entitled Delirium, where he's rapping over a lot of the popular beats from this year. Some of them are Seeing Green, the Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne track. He rapped on the Gang Signs track by Freddy Gibbs, and so many others. So yeah, shout out to John Connor, a dope MC, a guy who we've seen. He's been working at this for years. Mm-hmm. Despite the ups and downs of the game, he stayed at it, and he stayed true to what he's about as a musician and as an artist. And I've been impressed with his skill and just his ability to rap. Ever since I first heard him. So shout out to John Connor. We look forward to reviewing Delirium at some point on the pod, and just hoping to hear new music from him, in the near future as well. So shout out to John Connor.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Shout out to John Connor, and That's a big task, some of those artists that you named, Biggie and M and people like that to rap on those beats. So shows you, where his pen is.
Absolutely.
Before we close out, man, we want to give our condolences and thoughts and prayers to Pusha T, dealing with the passing of his mother. It's tough, dealing with the loss of a parent. So definitely our thoughts and prayers with Pusha T.
Absolutely. And his brother No Malice as well.
Yeah, for sure. Also, man, I want to wish happy birthday to Jean Grey. Yesterday was her birthday.
Shout out to Jean, man. I love Jean Grey.
Yeah,
Happy
me
birthday.
too, man. Yeah, I like Jean as well, man. She's incredible. All right, Mike, man. Get ready to shut it down. Give everybody your social media information.
Okay, so it's Mike Check, M1C_CH3CK. The I is a 1, the E is a 3 with the underscore in the middle. That simple.
All right, you can go to Facebook and look for Terrance Hill. It's on your screen right now. Look me up on Facebook. Be sure to like the page. My Instagram is Terrance Hill the Great. Again, on Instagram, follow me there, Terrance Hill the Great. And my YouTube is Terrance Hill Music. That's all one word, Terrance Hill Music on YouTube. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's episode of Terrance and Mike, the Sleeping Giants. We'll see you on next week. Take care.
Peace.